What's up, everybody? We've had a little change up in the garage here. I sold the KTM about a month or so ago and was thinking about a new project, but just kind of decided that I wanted something fun to ride for the summer. So after some searching, I picked up this absolutely beautiful 2019 Aprilia Tuono 1100 RR, all black, titanium Racefit exhaust already installed, Evotech frame sliders, axle sliders on the front, integrated turn signals, taillight is also integrated, turn signals blacked out, super nice. The guy that I had bought it from did a decent amount of work to it before I picked it up. Doesn't really need anything at all. These are just some cheap Amazon mirrors that I had sitting in a bin that I installed, but I've got new mirrors over in this box over here. It also has this shorty CRG on it. I like the lever, but I don't like that it's red. And over here on this side, the clutch lever is just the stock clutch lever. So I also ordered some Evotech levers for it, which are in this box. Let's see if I can get this open here. Let's see if I can one-hand it. Evotech's packaging, by the way, is primo. That is a really sweet package design. Yeah. This out. Yeah, look at that. Really nice. Kind of a matte finish. Got the red adjuster on it, which I think is great. All black. I think that's going to look better than the red one that's on there. And it's got the little pop of red with the adjuster to kind of match the little pops of red around the bike. And then I've got the brake lever, or sorry, the clutch lever to match to this one's the brake side. So yeah, matching Evotech levers. Yeah, it's really, really nice. So, like I said, not a ton to do, but just some little upgrades. I'm gonna have some fun with it. These are the CRGs. I originally planned on getting the arrows, but after having these round ones on it for a little while, I kind of like the look of the round ones on there, so I went with the round. Aprilia is kind of interesting. Their handlebar mounts are like, there's this, you can see that silver part in there, that kind of gray part is like pressed into the end of the bar. And so the mirrors have to screw into that. It's not like a tension fitting like it has been on almost every other motorcycle I've ever owned that, you know, slides into the end of the handlebar and then expands. These ones just screw right in to this thing. It's threaded. So I had to get these adapters for it. The adapters will go in like so, just screw in, and then the CRGs mount right there in that channel. That happens on both sides. And then, yeah, we'll have CRGs and nice matching black Evotech levers. Should be sweet. I'll give you guys a bit of a better walk around once I get it out of the garage and take it out for a spin. But yeah, pretty stoked about it for now. All right, those are on. I think those look way better than those cheapies I had on there. And the matching levers are awesome. Man, those look good. It was a quick job. This one over here was a little interesting. I needed to put a washer basically on the end of the screw when I screwed it in there, because the end of this was too close to the throttle and was kind of preventing it from snapping back when turned, and it just seemed like an easier solution to put a little super thin little washer in there than undo these things and try and slide them over, because I'm pretty sure this is a fixed position for this stuff. So yeah, anyway, those are on. I think they look sweet. Gonna go take her for a rip. So I've got this Tuono on the lift here. I haven't really talked about this bike a ton, but I've done a few things I think I've told you about, like the levers and maybe a couple other things up front, the mirrors. A while back I ordered these frame covers, matte carbon frame covers for it, just because I thought it would look nice to cover up the the silver frame pieces on it, since the bike is all black. I'm gonna try and put these on today. I test fitted one of the sides the other day and ended up putting the bike back together without installing it, just because I kind of ran out of time and I needed to ride the bike on a trip. So I'm gonna take another crack at it today, see how that goes, but I'm gonna turn the camera around and kind of show you what's going on with it real quick. Okay, so here is the left side. I've got the right side up on a shelf still, but this is dirty too. I haven't cleaned it since I was working on it. Obviously this just goes over this piece of the frame like so. Because my bike has the Evotech frame sliders on it, I had to cut around the mounting points of those there and there. I didn't do the best job in the world cutting it, but it's my first time cutting carbon, and it wasn't as easy as I expected it to be. It wasn't tough, it just didn't go, it's not like cutting plastic or anything like that. So not a big deal. It's mostly hidden under these pieces anyway when it gets mounted up. But yeah, basically in order to get it on, if I remember correctly, I think the rear set needed to come off. This definitely needs to come out. There's two screws. One of them is kind of tricky. So there's a screw here, and then there's another one back there, and that is accessed through here. Let me shine a light in there so you can see it. So you got to go through the air vent to get that screw back there, through that hole. No, that's not, yeah, there it is right there. So yeah, that's got to come out. And then this little wing piece needs to come off. That little, what do you call it, little plastic screw job, that comes out. And then the wing just kind of separated enough. When I say wing, I'm talking about this panel here. This panel just kind of separated enough to allow me to pull the air duct away from the frame far enough to slide the cover in. I also had to take these pieces out. This is where the EVAT canister mounted up. EVAT canister is gone, but the mount is still there just because I didn't have anything to put in its place, and it kind of acts as a spacer there, and you can't really see it anyway, so I don't really care about it. Yeah, so that comes out. This comes off, like I said. I think the rear set, but I can't remember exactly. And then I think this screw comes out. This screw comes out so it can slide up under here and lock into place. That's basically it. So I'm going to try and start pulling it apart and see if I can get it fitted up. Once it's fitted, or I should say before it's fitted, I think it requires like some double-sided tape. I'm going to use some 3M. I've got a roll of this stuff in the cabinet already. Sweet. Too much tape. So anyway, I've got a roll of this stuff. I'll use the thicker stuff on it. So put a couple patches of this on there, so I'm not going to coat the whole thing. Obviously, it'll just be a couple strips to kind of keep it in place. This stuff works awesome. And yeah, go from there. And then once I'm done with the once I'm done with the left side, I'll show it to you and probably start on the right side, but that's going to be from scratch because I still have to trim the holes for the frame sliders and stuff like that. That one is up there on the shelf still. Haven't even unpacked it. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work and kind of show you maybe halfway through the process and then when we're finished. All right, well, she's done. I got the frame covers on. This side was a little bit more difficult than the other side was, but I did have some learnings on it. I was able to just unbolt the 2 bolts here and this guy, and then kind of remove this so that I could slide it behind it. But unbolting this and these allowed me to just kind of like pull the intake out of the frame and expose it enough that I was able to slide the cover back in there. And then I used some of that tape on this section here. I put 2 pieces on, and then on the bottom there. And then I put another piece of tape back here on this section just to hold it. I didn't put any on the middle, just don't think it needed it. And then just for safe measure, I put a zip tie down here, and I did the same thing on the other side too. I'll go show the other side. But overall, I mean, I think that looks freaking sweet. Super pumped. There's the other side. Looks awesome. This side, the top was actually a super snug fit. It just kind of snapped in, so I didn't use any tape up here because it was really snug. And then I used a little bit of tape in this section here, and then down below, and I did the same thing here. I used a little zip tie. This is kind of interesting. The quick shifter is like rubbing on the carbon, which I guess is fine. I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, that was really the only thing. Got it all buttoned back up. And then while I was doing this, I completely forgot that I had these T-Rex case savers. So I took the factory covers off. There's like plastic covers that cover the actual cover. Took those off and then put the T-Rex on. Just think that looks a little bit more aggressive. Really like it. And then I did the other side too. Yep. Looks pretty nice. And then that just exposed all this other stuff too, because the factory cover for it went all the way over here. So now it just covers this piece, which I think looks awesome. Pretty excited about it. So I'm gonna get it off the lift. I've got some work to do on the Sport Classic, so I think I'm probably gonna do that next, but I think for now this is done. Until I find something else to do. All right, that's it. Until next time.
Spin the block, hit the gas, hit the gas. the block, hit the gas, hit the gas.